It's almost over, guys. The wait is almost over. Can you believe it? The off season of college football is literally less than 24 hours from being over. Now, the reason I use quotation marks is as a college football YouTuber, there is no off season. There's something happening every single day, videos pumping out every single day, live shows every weekday. So for me, there's no off season. There's no such thing as a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or any day in between. But as far as the college football season, there is an off season, and it is about to be over with. I am so excited, and I know most people are like, well, week 0, there's no ranked games on, there's no, high profile, and I understand that, but I'm like, I have a sickness. College football is my sickness. So the year, I don't know if it was 2020 or if it was last year, but the first game was Austin Peay versus Central Arkansas. I watched the entire game, and it turned out to be a good game, but most people wouldn't watch that because two FCS schools going at it. Who cares? I care. So I try to soak in. It was 2020. Yes. Okay. I try to soak in every game that I can because it's over before you know it, guys. The college football season is one of the fastest types of seasons that go by. So yeah, every game, soak it in. We're going to blink, and it's going to be week 6. And then we're going to blink again, and it's going to be week 10. And then we'll blink one more time, and we'll be in bowl season. So, yeah. Soak it in, guys, because it goes fast. It definitely goes fast. Another live show. It is a weekday, so, of course, I'm not on the schedule, though, because life happens. So I do them whenever I can. That's why it's always important to have that notification bell on, because that'll let you know when I'm going live, because I don't have a schedule. Can't run on a schedule. I tried it, and I failed. If you haven't, please hit the like button. It helps the video tremendously. That's not even saying that you necessarily like me or this particular video. It just helps the video hit that YouTube algorithm. And whenever that happens, the video gets suggested more. More people see it, click on it, and boom, that's how you grow your audience. Special shout out and thanks to those that always do that. I know there's a few people that always hit the like button no matter what. Let me get the format that I want here. Joey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's happening today, buddy? What's going on, everybody?
Well, it is college football season eve. Tomorrow, the college football season. I know it's week 0 and not a lot of people are into it, but diehards are definitely into it. I will definitely be watching some games tomorrow. The one that I'm particularly interested in, Northwestern and Nebraska. Super, super interested in that game.
Yeah, I'm just interested in watching that pigskin fly down the field a little bit, but I'll watch that game. But another game I'd like to watch too is Hawaii and Vanderbilt. I always watch Hawaii. Their first game of the year. It's just, I don't know what it is, but it's always been like a tradition of mine to watch Hawaii's first game of the year. So I'll watch that game. Keep an eye on a couple other games.
And just to clear something up for all my Patreons, the score prediction contest starts week 1. So we will start that next week. I'm still trying to figure out what game I'm going to pick for that. But this week, there's a few... well, not really a few. I would just say one that I'm super interested in. That's Nebraska Northwestern. There's a lot of storylines in it. I've said this before, but I really think this is not just me, rambling on. I think if Nebraska loses, Scott Frost gets fired after the game.
What's his buyout? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I know it has gone down significantly.
Oh, that's right. They renegotiated that.
Yeah,
it was up there quite a bit, and they renegotiated that down to like $6 million or something. So
yeah, and it's on a taper system, so it might be even less than that by now.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. Yeah, he could very well be met on the tarmac and either buy his own plane ticket home or maybe on the tarmac when he lands and told he's fired. He can't lose that game, and
no, I agree.
I think he can't even lose that game close. He can't even.
No, he can't lose it at all. No.
Right.
Even
So
if he wins it close, that'll make people nervous because Northwestern's supposed to be really, really bad. A win's a win. He'll keep his job if they beat Northwestern. But, man, if they barely beat Northwestern, there's a lot of people in Lincoln going to be nervous.
oh yeah, because they got a pretty tough schedule. So
Yeah, they do.
yeah, I mean, they need to turn those 50-50 games around this year and make those wins. And then, but game one is very important for him. He's got to get off on the right foot. Another game that's going to be interesting too. Florida State and Duquesne. I don't know why, but that may be a pretty interesting game to
Hey,
watch.
I'm going to have to mute myself for a minute because my wife's calling. Hold on.
Okay.
You go ahead. You keep going.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I'm. Okay. I see Ty guys says that too. That FSU is going to be a fun game to watch. I agree. I think that FSU and Duquesne will be a good game to watch. I'd like to find out if Florida State is back. They'll need that for a warm up game because the next time they go on the road to LSU, and if you're going to go on the road to LSU, you're going into Death Valley, and that's going to be a tough place to play. So I wanted to point out, everybody, I put the PayPal link into the comment section there. Put it one more time here, and if you PayPal, if you send in a PayPal other than a super chat, we're going to put that on the screen too. We're not going to show the PayPal, the actual PayPal, but we will put that up on the screen. So be sure use that PayPal link and PayPal, and we will put that up on the screen. That your question will go up, the amount of your PayPal, your question, your name, everything will go up there. And if you do not want it to go up on the screen, if you wanted to send a private PayPal, just tell us that in the comments. Just don't go and advertise this. Just keep this off your screen.
Becky F says looks like his buyout is $7.5 million. That's really, really low. That's definitely doable, and it might actually go down after this year. I just don't think he survives after game one if they lose to Northwestern. Last year they were considered the best 3-9 team in the nation because their largest loss was by 9 points to Ohio State, and then all the other games were by one possession. I mean, 8 points is still one possession. It's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. That's still one possession. So he needs to, even if he wins all of his games by one possession and goes 9-3, he has to flip the script this year. That is a must for Scott Frost. So like Joey mentioned earlier, great way to get us some questions, comments, or even trolls. You can do it through PayPal. But there's also the other option of Super Chat. It is that little $ you see on the bottom right-hand corner under the comments section. We prefer PayPal because YouTube does take a percentage out of Super Chats. But, either way supports the channel, and we greatly appreciate it. So any questions or any prediction questions for either tomorrow or your team season, something like that, that's a great way to ask. You need to get a hold of Tim. I want to talk to him about the video that I put out today.
I will. I'll message him right now and tell him we're live.
Okay, so me and Joey were actually talking about this earlier. A lot of people get on my back about all these conference realignment videos that I put out and how I've done like 100, probably over 100 by now, which is fine. But the thing is, it relates to me and it relates to other people because everybody wants to know. Even if, the person, I hate this, another conference realignment video. It connects to a lot of people. So they do good every day, and it's a changing narrative because what's true today might not be true tomorrow. So it's hard. It's not like I'm predicting what's going to happen. It's like, okay, well, this is what I'm hearing today, so this is what could happen. Now, today's video has kind of stayed consistent with what I've been seeing, okay? And what I've been seeing is the Pac-12's in trouble, man. They're in big, big trouble. So we know that USC and UCLA, they're gone. They're gone to the Big Ten. There's no question about that. And the story of Oregon and Washington leaving, heating up tremendously. Representatives of Oregon went to Chicago this past week to talk about Oregon's compatibility. And it looks like the deal that Oregon and Washington is going to be looking at for joining the Big Ten is partial revenue share, because the Big Ten right now they're looking for teams that reach a certain threshold. And I don't think Oregon and Washington reached that threshold, but they bring in enough to where they could get a partial. So I think that the TV deal starts at like $70 million per team. So they would probably start Oregon and Washington off at around, I don't know, 50 million, 55 million. And then by the time the deal hit, because it's progressive, so by the time the teams start making 100 million, then you'll see Oregon and Washington making 70, 75 million, which is not as much as the other members. But if you compare it to the money that they'll be making in the Pac-12 and the sheer uncertainty that they're going to be facing in the Pac-12, that's a good deal. They need to take it. And then on the other side of this is the Big 12. And so the biggest thing that I'm hearing about the Big 12 is they're going to do this expansion in waves. The first wave is supposed to be Arizona and Colorado. The second wave is supposed to be Arizona State, Utah, and now San Diego State. That's actually really genius if you think about that, because San Diego State is actually one of the best brands in Group of Five right now. And it would hurt the Pac-12 at the same time, because they're having to replace all these members that are leaving, and San Diego State would be pretty high on the list. And if the Big 12 takes that away, then that hurts the Pac-12 even more. Do you think the Pac-12 survives? Like, that's the bottom line, Joe. Do you think they survive?
And no, I don't. Well, I think it survives. I do think it survives, because I believe they'll bring in some other things, some other schools. But the A, they're an autonomous five. So if they bring in another school, they automatically become a Power Five school. But it would take a vote to take away that A5 status from the Pac-12. And when would that vote come? Probably not until 2026, when they do everything else, when they vote on everything else. So
right.
If some teams leave and they, even if they do retain the Power Five status, they would be looked down on if they bring in all these teams like Fresno State and San Diego State. They would not be considered a Power Five conference.
Yeah, that's the problem.
If people think it's bad right now about how they were looking at the Big 12, imagine the Pac-12 with all them other teams. So, because Pac-12 is already pretty weak for the most part.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's really crazy, because the Pac-12 has already been the weakest conference for over 5 years. I mean, they haven't been, what's it been, 6 or 7 years since the Pac-12 has been to the playoffs. So they're already the weakest conference right now, and now they're going to get picked apart. And their option will be to get the strongest, Group of Five brands out there. And I know my videos have been focusing on the Mountain West, but there have been people in the comments section of those videos pointing out that's not their only option. They got, SMU in the state of Texas, and some other options, maybe a Tulsa out of Oklahoma, that would be better than some of these options in the Mountain West, which is true. But my gosh, could you really consider the Pac-12 a Power 5 team whenever?
Well, not that. They're going to go after. They're going to go after schools. The Pac-12 is going to maintain their academics. And they go after really highly ranked academic programs. San Diego State and Fresno State are two highly ranked academic programs. SMU is as well. Boise State is not. So they probably wouldn't go after Boise State. So
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what everybody has. Well, desperate times they may do. Yeah, but
yeah. Hold on. The Yates 27. Thank you for the $1.99 donation. Says Pitt is breaking huddles, saying national champions. Well, after the backyard brawl, that will cease. Benjamin Fellows, thank you for the $20 donation. Says, I know you said to send memorabilia to your new P.O. box, but I'd rather you find something that fits your shelf. Grab something for the Oregon Ducks. We will definitely do that with this donation for sure. But the reason behind the encouragement that I give to people as far as sending it themselves is it's an extension of yourself. I don't worry, I'm gonna buy something Oregon since you donated, and that's what you want. I'll buy something Oregon, and we'll put it on the shelf. But to me, it's more personal. It's more interactive if you send it yourself. But I got you, man. We will find something Oregon and make it fit on the shelf. But see, I don't know if you would prefer like a hat or that's another thing. But we'll try to find something that fits like that. I'll have to order that online though. I think that's one thing that also helps with people sending stuff in is usually they live in a place that's near the team that they pull for, so it's easier to get that stuff. But we'll go online and find something.
Maybe we could find a flag or something to put behind you with the final score of the Oregon-Ohio State game, with the final score of the Oregon-Ohio State game last year.
I like it. We're already brainstorming about that. Nice.
So Auburn's athletic director left the building.
Now, did he quit or was he fired?
From what I understand, he walked out and quit. Yeah.
He walked out and quit. So, and
yeah, he quit on it.
Honestly, I knew that before you asked because we talked about this before. But the reason I asked is so you would say that clearly. And to me, that screams there's some big problems at Auburn. And a lot of people are like, well, we're glad that Brian Harsin didn't get fired. He's a tough-nosed coach. He's going to get this thing turned around. Blah blah blah. There's some dark days coming for Auburn. I fully believe that. What's going to happen to Harsin now? Well, I mean, we look at last year. Auburn was not good at all. And then the offseason, the scandal, of course, they cleared him of anything like that. But he has a history of that kind of stuff. And now the athletic director walks out, not fired. He walks out. Like, the gravity of that is ridiculous. Those athletic directors get paid a lot of money. So for one of them to walk out, he knows something is coming down the pike. So my guess would be that Auburn, whenever I say they're facing dark days in the near future, I'm talking about like sanctions and stuff like that. I mean, I hate, and we've seen it before. And the last time they went under sanctions, they actually went undefeated, but they were not bowl eligible because that was part of the punishment. They weren't allowed to go to a bowl. Man, that's not good.
They were a long way from going undefeated for this time, but still, yeah, it can hurt a program really badly, and especially in the SEC.
Not just now, but for the long haul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the StreamYard link in the chat section. I knew I was going to forget something. Yeah.
Yeah. That
give me 1 second, guys. I will share the link. Let me make sure I got everything right here.
Here, just click on the invite. Here, I got it.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
Good deal. There you go. So this is basically a call-in show. All you have to do is click the StreamYard, and even if you don't want to be on camera, you can turn your camera off. You just got to give us a wave before. That way, we know it's not some type of.
Let me show you
a robot.
I'm gonna show everybody an example of what I was talking about. If you PayPal from now on, so if you PayPal from now on, I'm gonna put this. So like this is just an example. This is not a PayPal. I will put this up on the screen. So it will say a PayPal super chat. Special shout out to Frank Green for $5 super chat. What is your score prediction for W Pitt? That's an example. Right. So, and so I'll just let everybody know that we will have that up on the screen. So if you send in a PayPal, it will be recognized.
Gotcha. Can you give us a wave real quick? So before we put you on, you can turn your camera back off, but just give us a wave real quick. Okay. Did you see anything there, Jeff? Oh, there you go. Well, there's Jeff.
Yeah.
I kind of knew it was Jeff, but
Hey, can I address the Auburn situation?
yes, please.
The real story, and I'd like to make a lot out of Auburn because I hate Auburn, as you all know, but the athletic director's contract was up in 5 months. So he went in and asked if he was going to, be extended.
I got you, Kenny.
They discussed it, and he did quit, but it was kind of mutual. He knew he wasn't going to be extended. He was going to be let go in 5 months anyway, so he just walked away now.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of he just knew what was going to happen and walked away early.
Right, and there might still be trouble coming from everything that's happened, but
right.
they wasn't going to re-sign him, so he just walked out early.
Hey,
do they already have any candidates for that job?
They're looking. What I heard is they were looking at stealing another SEC AD.
Jeff, you're an Alabama fan, isn't it? A lot sweeter just to say, "Hey, he walked out on Auburn. He left them high and dry."
Leave it at that.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I wish there was stuff coming down, but I think stuff will come down because I don't think the coach is going to turn it around this year.
Oh yeah. Dude's a slime ball too. I mean, I know that.
Can y'all hear me?
Stuff. Yeah, we hear you, Kenny. You're good. I know he was cleared in the.
I want to give a shout out to Owen Schmidt and the other two hosts that they have for their new podcast, In the Gun podcast. Everybody go out and check it out. It's got some cool stuff in it.
Yeah, it's Jed Drinnings. Jed Drinnings and Owen Schmidt.
Yeah, we're actually we're trying to work with them in the future as well. That's going to be. I think we'll be able to do that.
What was that, Joey? It broke up, buddy.
It's Jed Drinnings and Owen Schmidt. You know Jed Drinnings, the sideline reporter for WVU.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I went over and checked it out, and I was amazed.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you think that Auburn's even going to make a bowl this year?
Well, guys, my internet's acting up real bad, so I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, and so somebody else can come in.
Okay, bud. Thanks for sharing that.
Auburn, unfortunately, is one of those teams that I think they could go 6-6 and get a bowl, or they could go 5-7 and maybe not enough teams qualify and they get a bowl. But I don't. The problem with Auburn is their people think they're Alabama.
Yep.
And if you don't win in 2 years, you're gone. I mean, look what they did to Mazan. Chiswick.
Mm-hmm.
You win for them, and then you have a couple down years, you're gone, and they're not going to put up with a coach who starts off, 5-7 and then goes another 6-6. They're just not going to be that patient.
Yeah. Oh, we have a score prediction, guys. FSU 45. Thank you for the $5 donation. I'm actually going to head over to his house on that Saturday, so we're going to hang out for a little bit. Good evening, going to Blue Dude and everybody. I'm looking forward to watching any college football games tomorrow. Go Ears. Me too. West Virginia 38, Pitt 21. That would be awesome. I'll take a 1-point win, but that would be amazing. I am all for that. And if you think about it, I know this is homerism and we're looking at this through blue and gold glasses. But if you think about it, that score actually does make some sense. Like if a team was going to blow out another team, I think it would be West Virginia blowing out Pitt because our defense is going to be right there with Pitt's. I think the difference in the backyard brawl as far as winner and loser is going to be the offense. And Pitt had an amazing offense last year, but they lost one of their top 5 quarterbacks of all time in Kenny Pickett and the best wide receiver in the nation. He has the hardware to prove it, Jordan Addison. On the flip side, West Virginia gains one of the top quarterback, free agent, a.k.a. transfer portal, you could get. And got one of the best offensive coordinators you could think of as far as being able to get one at West Virginia. So we go from having a quarter – and think about this. Last year, our starting quarterback couldn't win the job at Western Kentucky, and he transferred to Troy. He needed the help of – he needed some connections from Neil Brown to get a starting job at Troy. That was our starting quarterback last year. This year, we're going to have JT Daniels. And even if he gets injured in the middle of the season, I think we'll be fine. I think he gets through the Pitt game for sure, so I'm counting on him for the Pitt game. But if somebody's going to blow out somebody, it will be West Virginia, if that were to happen, because of the difference in the offenses. Defenses are going to be similar, but our offense is going to be better than Pitt's, and I think that's going to be the difference. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like that. I think it's going to be more like 10 points, something like that. But it's possible because of those reasons. Let's see. Vanity Rose, thank you for the $5 donation. Says, off topic, the Golden Blue Dude, has anyone ever told you how much you look like Dale Gribble?
Oh, King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
You know what? I think somebody has said that, especially when I'm wearing these.
Somebody did that.
Especially when I'm wearing these.
If you have the
Yeah.
mirror finished sunglasses.
Yeah, I got the thin.
Yeah,
It's not just my face or my neck. Like every
change
like
the shirt to West
right
Virginia
down.
shirt. You have exact duplicate.
Right. I could see it. David Cummings, thank you for the $10 donation. Says, when is Neil Brown going to start? Hold on, restart. When is Neil Brown going to name a starting quarterback, and is he just playing close to the vest to throw off Pitt? The latter part of that comment is what he's doing. He's definitely playing it close to the vest to throw off Pitt. I think we all know that it's going to be JT Daniels, unless Will Crowder is just that amazing and we didn't realize it. To me, this is a win-win. Either we know JT Daniels is going to win the starting quarterback position, or Will Crowder is this phenomenal quarterback that beats JT Daniels, and we're like, whoa, we weren't expecting that. Either way, that's a win. So, and it's not like JT is going to be going out there on one leg. I mean, he's healed up from all of his injuries. I know he's susceptible to injuries. But one thing that I will say is, if you look at Georgia, they have a lot of injuries in the offseason, every offseason. Our safety, he was rated the number one safety in 2020 in the offseason. Tyke Smith transferred to Georgia. What happened? Immediately got injured. Last year, they had like 3 of their starting wide receivers get injured in the offseason. JT Daniels gets injured in the, third game, something like that?
Second game.
Georgia has injuries. And on the flip side, for West Virginia, we've actually taken care of our quarterbacks tremendously. The last injury we had was Will Greer to his pinky finger, and it happened in the game. He went to score the touchdown, and he jammed his pinky finger because he reached out with the ball and fell, and the ball jammed the finger. So we actually have a really good track record with injuries. So if any team can take care of JT Daniels, I think West Virginia is the team. I like our chances. So, yes, I would say that Neil Brown is just playing it close to the vest. I do know that Pitt has named Keaton Slovis their starting quarterback. That's fine and dandy, whatever. I think we all knew that was going to happen. But and I've even asked USC fans who, they have no dog in this fight, and they've seen both quarterbacks. And they're not like, JT's better at this and Keaton Slovis is better at that. No. And they're also not like, JT's a little bit, but this is a landslide. Every time I ask them, they're like, JT Daniels, no question, in the story. So that gives me a lot of confidence going into this game.
I will tell you, though, if the one prediction is right, if Pitt gets blown out, that's not going to do them well for the next week when they play Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. I actually had – here's the thing. So I did a prediction video on Pitt whenever I talked about the ACC. If you haven't noticed, I've actually been combining videos. So I'll do conference realignment at the beginning, and then at the end of the video, I'll actually do season predictions for those teams that I talked about. And Pitt was one of those teams. I actually have Pitt going 8-4. That's a pretty decent season, but I do have them losing to West Virginia, and Tennessee to start the season. But I think their schedule lightens up quite a bit whenever they get to the ACC. So they're going to have a good year. They'll probably finish the season ranked and, finish in the upper half of the Coastal. But I think Miami will win the Coastal. I think it's going to be Miami and Clemson in a rematch of a regular season game because Miami has to go to Clemson. And it's tough to beat a good team twice. Miami, maybe they can pull off the upset the second go around and become ACC champs. Mad T-Sipper, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I just had a quick question.
Sure.
Which asshole keeps putting me on timeout?
I'm just.
Is it that asshole?
You said something in the comments that you can't say that.
What did I say?
Well, I'm not going to repeat it because we don't talk about like that on here. So.
What did I say?
I tell you what, I'll type it in the private chat over here.
Okay, go ahead. I don't understand. I don't understand. Seems like every time I come in here, you put me on timeout for some shit. I mean, is this a college football shit talking channel, or is this just I come in here and you put me on timeout because you don't like it?
No, we don't put people in timeout because we don't like them. If we were going to do that, then we'd be timing out a lot of people because people try to troll me all the time. Basically, we just try to make it to where people don't go at each other personally. Like trash talk is fine, but like when you start trying to get personal with people, that's when we try to get you to back off. We've even had to do that with Super Chats because we had this one dude come in and just get super, super personal with Tim, one of our guests, talking about his mom and all this other stuff. So we even had to time out Super Chats because of that.
Well, that's understandable, but I don't understand what I said that would get me timed out. But hey,
in the chat, in the private chat is where I put what you said. We just try to just avoid that stuff. Okay.
Hold on. We have Elijah Allen. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just happy to be back in Georgia. Just got back in from California about 2 weeks ago. I just got out of the Marines, so I just figured I'd come on and say what's up and see how y'all are doing.
Oh,
Thanks for your service, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Good job.
Just excited for the season coming up too.
Yeah. Well, I know it's week 0, but it's still college football. We are less than 17 hours now from the start of college football. I'm super excited.
When I was leaving the state, I stopped by Lids, and I knew I was driving through Baton Rouge, so I figured I'd be a little bit of a troll. I bought a UCLA hat. Wear that sissy blue driving through Baton Rouge.
Oh man,
that must have been fun.
Oh yeah.
You're a Marine, so it makes it like go ahead.
Well, I didn't stop and back. I didn't stop. I wanted to stop, but it was already getting dark. I'd already been driving about 7 to 8 hours. I was trying to get to Mobile so I could stop for the night. So that was about the longest drive I've ever done in my life for sure. We drove to Phoenix the first night. And when I talk about breathing in a dang oven, that's what it felt like. And then we drove from there to San Antonio the second day. That was about 17, 18 hours.
Oh, man.
Oh, San Antonio, you're really feeling the heat then.
Oh, it wasn't too bad once we got out of Arizona. The heat wore off a little bit. New Mexico was actually really nice. People think New Mexico is like I thought New Mexico was going to be a desert.
Nah.
But it's really green and all. And we got into El Paso at 7:00.
Oh boy.
And then we drove all the way from El Paso to San Antonio. That was another 7, 8 hours. And I drove to Mobile the next day. That was 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drove to Georgia. That was about 5.5 for Mobile. So.
Yeah. But see, when you went through New Mexico, you went through southern New Mexico and not up north.
Yeah, I did. I came in through Las Cruces.
Yeah, that's where you got the green. If you'd have went up through Albuquerque and Tucumcari and that, you're going to hit desert.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hold on. I wanted to explain something to the Mad Tea Sipper. See, what you don't realize, whenever you have a YouTube channel, if you allow certain words in the chat or during conversation, it puts your channel at risk of getting a strike. And if you get 3 strikes, they remove your channel and you have to start from scratch. Like there's no redos. Like you literally have to start a new channel. that's why we stay on top of that, and we have to time people out to show YouTube that we don't allow that. So we're not, we don't take things personal, but we want this channel to keep going. We don't want to get taken down because of things that were not followed. And, that you'll have to take that up with YouTube. That's their rules, and we have to abide by them.
Yes.
I would just also like to say on record real quick, Hillbilly Orgy was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. I absolutely loved it. And,
I don't know if a lot of people on my channel actually know about that. You should probably tell them about that, Joey.
No, I shouldn't. No, but Elijah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Y'all was good competition. I was just happy to make it to the Final Four this year.
Let me put this out here. We were the only entry that got a standing ovation from Lou.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I'm dropping the mic with that one.
It was an Appalachian soap opera, man.
Oh, damn.
I thought about starting a YouTube channel. I thought about starting a YouTube channel of that, just keep it going. It'd be fun.
And I'll just say this, I ain't trying to kiss anybody's butt or nothing, but these YouTube channels, these college football YouTube channels, they got me through the last 5 years being in the Marines. Really. I mean, just being close to home and just hearing a Southern accent.
I can imagine, man.
Was just it got me through the day. It was.
Yeah, definitely.
So, hey, what was your MOS?
I was a 1371 as combat engineer. I'm so glad I get to say
was. Combat engineers. Oh, damn.
I was 0326. Recon.
Recon. I tried out for recon. I signed up with a 5-year contract. I washed out.
Ooh, damn.
It's fun, ain't it?
Yeah, no, I was afraid to take a shower for about a week.
Florida Gator, thank you for the $2 donation. Says Marshall's trouncing Georgia this year. Don't bet the house on that. That's my only advice for you. Do not bet the house on that. Jordan Bowman, what's going on, buddy? Speaking of which, I'm actually going to go up there to Clemson Memorial Stadium sometime this week and do a video on the renovations that's going on, and of course,
the new video board. Yeah.
Well, and they're adding seats too. They're adding capacity, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a conference realignment twist on it. It does fit together. There's a reason why Clemson is doing this.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but I just know we've been spending a bunch of money since we've been winning, national championships. That's just that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as a coincidence. They didn't start on this like immediately or a couple years or even several years after they won their first or second one. Like this happened right whenever all this stuff started getting, out there and stuff. So I think there's a connection there. I really do. Like we've said a million times, all this talk hits a brick wall that is called the grant of rights. So that's the one thing that would have to get figured out for all this to happen. But
and you're saying there's one team.
Hey, maybe Clemson knows something about that we don't know. You never know. That's all I'm saying.
Is Clemson gonna have an offense this year? I mean, it's not a troll attempt. That's a legitimate question. I mean,
Will Shipley. Yes.
It's a fair question. Do I think that Clemson is going to have the offense that you're used to seeing? The high-powered, explosive passing offense. I don't expect that, but I don't expect the offensive ineptitude that you saw last year either. I think the offensive line has gotten rave reviews this offseason. I think they're going to take a huge step forward. I think getting our wide receivers back healthy, guys like Joseph Ngata, EJ Williams, and some players in the slot that we were missing last year, like Brandon Spector, Will Taylor got hurt in the middle of the season. Freshman Antonio Williams is likely going to play early. He's impressed so much in camp. So I think that all in all, even if DJ himself doesn't improve as a quarterback, I do think that the pieces around him will be a lot better. I think he has 3 really good running backs to hand the ball off to. I think the receivers should be healthier. And and then I think just by that alone, and obviously the offensive line, I think the offense will be at least good. I don't think it's going to be elite, but it'll be competent. It'll be good enough to play complementary football with the, with how good our defense is, and it should be enough to win, 10, 11 games, and be right
I
there.
agree with that. I actually think DJ will be better this year, but the two players that everybody need to watch on that offense is the running back Will Shipley and then Ngata, the wide receiver. Those are the two go-tos. They're going to have a great running game, and then they'll be able to take the lid off the top of those defenses. Clemson's offense is going to be light years better than what it was last year.
I think so too.
On top of that, they're going to have one of the best defenses in the ACC. I've already done a Clemson prediction, so this is not a spoiler or anything like that. I actually have Clemson going 11-1, losing in a close game to Notre Dame on the road, going to the ACC championship and playing Miami for the ACC championship. And if they beat Miami the second time, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think at least based on history, a 1-loss Clemson ACC champion, the committee is not going to let leave them out, because they have the clout, they have the credit, they've built that up. It would surprise me unless like the other 4 teams in contention were undefeated or something. But,
right, exactly.
No.
Shout out to the veterans and all of our servicemen. David Cummings, thank you for the $5 donation.
Absolutely.
Just a big thank you to the guys on here that are veterans. I'm one of you, and thank you for your service, man. Absolutely. Hey, freedom isn't free. Freedom
No,
isn't
it
free.
isn't. No, it isn't, definitely. We get us, the veterans on this panel can vouch for it. Hell,
Yeah.
I know 2 guys here are Marines, and I'm the Army veteran. I don't know about our other one.
And not to get
I'm
any
on
type of political, or anything, but I got kicked out with a day left on my contract for not taking a COVID shot.
Wow.
Oh man,
That's how
People
the
are
government
getting, people are getting
That's how the
fired from
government's for you.
high-ranking positions because they won't take that. Like, I'm not trying to get political, but why does not getting a shot get you fired from a job? You're not hurting somebody else. If they get the shot, then okay, I didn't get the shot.
Yeah. Well, basically, they gave me a general discharge, so an honorable discharge.
Wow.
With a day left, and I ended up with they took my GI Bill away from me.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
That's the only thing I lost. I mean, I keep everything else, but I mean that still hurts. I mean, that extra $1,700 a month to go to school would be nice right now.
Yep.
But I ain't gonna get in all that. But I just want to say something else too. I think Tennessee is gonna boat race Pitt by at least 17 this year.
Wow.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
I don't think you lose a generational talent in quarterback. Well, not necessarily generational in it's college football on whole, but the best quarterback that's probably ever been at Pitt, and the best receiver that's been at Pitt in the last 20, 30 years.
I agree. Kenny Pickett is the best quarterback
quarterback
that they've had since Dan Marino.
Yeah,
100%.
Dan Marino was the best.
Yeah.
That's the reason. I would disagree with that, but that's because Dan Marino would be first over Prickett. So
What about Nathan Peterman, guys? So, how can you forget the legend, the greatest quarterback of all time, Nathan Peterman?
Hey, he came from Tennessee. He wasn't no good there though.
Yeah. Hey, he beat Clemson, so I'm just carrying the water because that was a weird game. We're not going to talk about that though.
Elijah, Florida Gator says, "Wow, bull, that they did you like that." I agree with that. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, to be honest with you, that doesn't.
in my case, I can explain it myself. Because if you're in the military, you're considered government property. Yeah. So if you don't get the shot, you're going against the government on that.
Mm-hmm. And also think about it this way.
But it shouldn't be labeled like that. That's stupid.
And see, here's the problem.
Weakening our military.
The problem with the whole thing that I had was I got told almost a year ago that I was getting kicked out. And they kept me that long. If you're going to kick somebody out, kick them out in a timely manner. I would have rather had the same discharge, but been able to come home and work for 8 months, save some money, so I'd have like a little bit of a cushion between me and the real world. I mean, I had to put my whole trip home on a credit card.
Hey, Joey, tell me about the spamming troll, please. It's getting on my nerves.
I think you've got it.
I think somebody got it.
Right. We don't show us over here that they're turned out. Yeah, it don't show us on stream.
I think I'm just more thankful to be home than anything. I made it through 5 years, never had to go to war. I was supposed to be in Kabul when that happened, but I got in some trouble and ended up not being able to go, so I didn't have to go. And you know, I just
blessing in disguise.
Oh yeah, no. Now the $2,000 I'm paying for the DUI I got in California, that's rough, but you know.
Yeah, I would exercise your right to the right to remain silent on that one.
Yeah.
But dude, we definitely appreciate your service because we all know that freedom is definitely not free, and
No.
just to even, go through that training and stuff is, that's a different type. It takes different types of human beings to be able to do stuff like that. It really does. That's like whenever people troll fighters that lose in the octagon, I'm like, just going into that cage, going up against another professional fighter, that takes some big cojones right there. Like, I am not trolling anybody that ever gets into the octagon. Never.
No.
Jimmy Touchdown. Like the name, by the way. Thank you for the $2 donation. Chad Pennington is the greatest quarterback in West Virginia history. Well,
that's the same one. That's the same one that trolls that. That's the same one that super chats.
Randy Moss.
That Randy Moss is a.
So I'm guessing he's a Marshall fan because he keeps mentioning Marshall players and associating them with
West Virginia.
WVU. I mean, I know Marshall is in the state of West Virginia, but you have to label him as the greatest quarterback in Marshall history. Like, overall, I would say Major Harris or Pat White is the greatest quarterback out of the state of West Virginia.
I think I wouldn't be able to drop the university off to make it that he was the best ever in the whole state of West Virginia.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I didn't say this, but Country Roads is written about Western Virginia, not West Virginia. So I just wanted y'all
I've heard that.
The Shenandoah River ain't even in West Virginia.
West parts, it's like together, not just West Virginia and not just the western part of the state of Virginia. Eastern part of West Virginia, western part of Virginia, that section right there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Touchdown, here's a final score prediction. Marshall 34, Notre Dame 0.
Man, that's a lot of hopium he's smoking there.
Yeah.
I can't even get mad at him because his team is undefeated against Clemson. So.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I might be wrong, but Marshall's been decent the past couple years, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
They've been all right.
They just joined the Sun Belt too, didn't they?
Yeah. Working their way on up.
Yeah.
Now
Marshall used to be a powerhouse in the lower division before they got bumped up to the MAC.
Yeah.
I remember it was wasn't it Marshall and Boise State? They were together in that lower division and they were running roughshod there for a while. I think that's who it was. But then Boise State got bumped up to the Mountain West and Marshall got bumped up to the MAC. And I guess they're trying to work their way up to Power 5 status. I think Boise State's much closer than Marshall getting Power 5. But the Sun Belt is just, if you're going by, a ladder, I would say the Sun Belt is a higher run than the MAC for sure. And Conference USA, because they went from the MAC to Conference USA and now to the Sun Belt. Probably the next step for Marshall would be the AAC. Jimmy Touchdown, thank you for the $5 donation. Says, I didn't see Major Harris or Pat White playing in the NFL. Okay. Instead, they spent their professional career at Mardi Gras Casino betting on the dogs. I thought we were talking about West Virginia quarterbacks. Like, you didn't say had better NFL careers. And Chad Pennington didn't exactly have a great NFL career. I mean, he played a couple seasons. About it.
Couple that did, though, was Jeff Hostetler.
And if we want to go by that, Jeff Hostetler would be the greatest of all time. He won an actual Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Mark Bolger played quite a few years.
Wasn't Brian Bosworth one of the best Oklahoma linebackers? But you wouldn't say that about his NFL career.
Right. That's two separate things. But my point was, if he wants to go down the NFL route, then you have to go with Jeff Hostetler. He won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. He's trying to compare him in the NFL, and that's not what he was saying. He was talking about college.
Yeah.
Now, in college,
Josh Boyd didn't play it down in that.
Pat White or Major Harris. But NFL from West Virginia, Jeff Hostetler, 100%.
Yeah. Taj Boyd didn't play it down in the NFL, but he's still, one of the best quarterbacks in Clemson history. He still holds all our passing records. So, fun fact.
Jerry Garantano's lighting it up in the preseason right now, apparently. So, probably the worst quarterback to ever played in Tennessee, but
it's funny how that works.
Isn't Auburn's starting quarterback supposed to be Calzada?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the situation that Auburn's looking at. So they had a terrible season last year. Their head coach went through a scandal in the offseason. He was cleared, but still had to go through it. AD just quit, and your starting quarterback is dadgum Calzada from Texas A&M, who was horrible. Texas A&M won because of their defense. He almost cost them a game against freaking Colorado last year. Think about that.
Whew, that's not
and
good.
they had Bo Nix go to the transfer portal.
Florida Gator, thank you for the $5 donation, says, I want to see Jimmy Touchdown play in the ACC. When is he trying out? Yeah, keep us up to date on that. I didn't see this little back and forth developing, but that was pretty funny. An unexpected rivalry budding, maybe, perhaps that we didn't see coming.
If Major Harris would have played in today's college football, he would be a first-round pick in the NFL. He played in '88. NFL didn't really take on scrambling quarterbacks that could throw back then. They took on passing quarterbacks. So,
all right, now we're going down a different road. Jimmy Touchdown, thank you for the $5 donation. Says Bobby Pruitt is the greatest coach in West Virginia history. They never named a steakhouse after Don Nehlen. So now we're going after named steakhouses.
Ooh,
no, they named a highway after Don Nehlen. They named a highway after Don Nehlen.
A little bit more, permanent. Steakhouses can go out of business, but that highway is going to be there.
Heck, look at UT. Hell, they have a street name after the freaking their steer, Bevo. They have Bevo Drive right through the University of Texas.
That's just silly.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
There's something else.
By the way,
unless there's something else. If you go to Atlanta, Don Nehlen has his name on a wall in Atlanta that Pruitt don't have.
Florida Gator, I thought you were on our side. Now he says Major Harris would have been cut ASAP. I thought he was on our side. What happened?
You never know. You never know with people.
Hey, you remember the rules. As long as they're paying money, they can say what they want.
And Jimmy Touchdown says, I'm taking my talents to the CAA, Gator. So they're definitely going back. Maybe they're the same person. Maybe they're the same person that's just, chatting back and forth to each other. I don't know what's going on. That's just a guess. That's just a guess. This is my show, and I try to be entertaining. I'm being entertained by the super chats right now.
Yeah, that's pretty entertaining.
Well done, guys. Well done.
I just like to go on record as saying I drove through Texas, and I don't get the hype. That state that state never ends, and it's hot, and there's nothing like West Texas.
I will say one thing: their stadium is immaculate. They have one of the best looking stadiums I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it is. I've been to UT because I live in Austin now.
Well, that's the fake UT. That's UT crazy. Junior, by the way. Just to let you know.
Yeah, where you were at in San Antonio, that's the junior one.
David Cummings, $5 donation. Appreciate it. How many Division I national titles did Bobby Pruitt play for or coach for? I'll insert that. I know it wasn't part of it, but I'll insert that in there. Yeah.
I did get to pass Tiger Stadium, UTEP, and Texas Tech on the way home.
Jimmy Touchdown, thank you for the $5 donation, says Bobby Pruitt has a national championship. Where's Don Nehlen's? Wait, is he talking about from Alabama?
No,
come on.
He won one at Marshall.
That was not. Oh, dude. Anybody has a position in Alabama under Nick Saban, they're going to be national champs. So no.
I like it.
And now wait a minute, because Don Nehlen was at Michigan before he got in West Virginia. He's got a national champ under his belt too.
Oh, there you go. Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he coached under both.
Okay.
What?
I like that.
Wait a minute.
We have arguments on
when
both
did
sides.
Michigan win their championship? 97?
98.
No, Tennessee won 98.
Before that,
Michigan won it 97.
Before that.
97. Yes. It was
No,
actually a
Michigan-
shared.
it was
With, it
Michigan
was a
in-
shared with
in the
Nebraska, right? It was a shared with Nebraska.
Michigan didn't win a championship in the 60s. They won in
70s.
1987, and they hadn't won before World War II.
Oh, okay. So he didn't win a national at Michigan. I was thinking they won one in the 70s. Okay.
You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So they're talking about the country road song, right? And it was written about the western section or the eastern section of West Virginia and the western section of Virginia. But whenever John Denver came to Morgantown and sang it on opening day, the first day of New Mountaineer Field, he actually, I don't know how you would classify this, but he actually said, now it's for West Virginia. It's like he handed the song to West Virginia, even though it was written about a section of one state and a section of another. On that day, he essentially gave it to West Virginia. I don't know if a lot of people knew that or not.
Well, I did know it, and that's something I didn't know. But do you know how John Denver died?
What is
Plane crash.
Plane crash.
Plane crash.
He was flying his plane drunk, and he crashed it. And he had a DUI, so he wasn't supposed to be flying as it
Oh,
was.
he's talking about one of the lower championships. Bobby Pruitt won the 1AA championship in 1996 at Marshall. That's what I was talking about earlier when Marshall dominated that lower division. Neyland couldn't even win the toilet bowl. You're comparing the lower division to
The top division.
And Neyland actually coached West Virginia to the national championship. Major Harris got injured in the first quarter, and we lost to Notre Dame. So we were at the championship game at the highest level.
Hey,
Florida
speaking
Gators,
of Marshall,
Cole Pennington will win the 2023 Heisman. Okay. That's a way out there prediction. David Cummings, thank you for the $10 donation. Jimmy Touchdown, WU beat Marshall the next season. Oh, he's talking
In
about
game
after
one.
the national championship. Yeah. I think that was the year that Randy Moss played for Marshall. Oh, fun fact, West Virginia is 12-0 all time against Marshall. So
Yeah.
I don't even know why he keeps saying this stuff. I mean, no.
Yeah, but
I'm
West
just
Virginia
saying,
played Marshall.
undefeated.
Marshall had just won their national championship. They came up they moved up a level, played West Virginia game one, and at
Had
halftime
Randy
the score
Moss.
was 30. At halftime the score was 34-3, I believe. They had Randy Moss and Chad Pennington. I think the halftime score was 24-3 or 34-3. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Marshall did make it sort of a game in the second half whenever we pulled all of our starters, but we beat them handily, and that's when they had Randy Moss and company. But
I can remember
undefeated against
Randy Moss.
Marshall.
I remember Randy Moss
Jimmy
crying on
Touchdown
the
says
sideline.
Marshall is an academic powerhouse compared to WU.
Oh boy.
I remember.
Now he's going to
Moss on the
academics.
Now
He's
I'm
like-
going to go for the low blows.
We're going all over the place now. Like, okay, well, let's go over here. Let's try this avenue. Let's try
Yeah.
this avenue.
speaking of
Randy Moss
Heisman,
on the
I
sideline,
think
that one of the sideline reporters reported that Randy Moss had went to his coaches and said, they're jamming me at the line. I can't get off the line. They're jamming me at the line. And the coach looked at him and said, that's the name of the game. You know, you're supposed to get off the line yourself. So, and I
Jimmy
can't
Touchdown
remember.
says, hold on. Jimmy Touchdown says Marshall is a lock to the ACC for the H-Town market. That, dude, at least your comments were sort of kind of making sense. This one does not. Okay, if they bring in a team from the state of West Virginia, it would be West Virginia, and they're not even thinking about Marshall. That's why Marshall is going to the Sun Belt, because that's the best they can do right now. The H-Town, by the way, that's Huntington. So yes, Marshall carries the city of Huntington. West Virginia carries the rest of the state. Not to mention major markets in D.C. and Pittsburgh. So that dude at least makes sense when you trash talk, which early, I got to give him credit. Earlier, his trash talk was halfway decent, but that one right there, nah.
That's a little delusional.
John Waffle, H2P, Marshall is the – see, this is what I'm talking about. Marshall and Pitt fans. This tells you just how low they'll go. Marshall is the real flagship institution. W is a product of the government like PSU.
Whoa. Stop pressing on the gas.
Oh, yeah,
That was
nothing is below Pitt. You didn't know that?
I know that.
Oh,
I
and Jimmy
remember I'm
Touchdown
from
says the Sun
Pennsylvania,
Belt
so
is
I
better
know.
than the Big 12. So when he can't refute a fact, then he just says this is worse than that. So that's the avenue we're going down.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, settle down with the Penn State one.
Yeah, that was out of the blue.
Yeah, I'm
But,
like,
but I
that's
mean,
my
Pitt,
side of
Pitt
the
and Penn
state now.
State. Here's the thing with Pitt. Pitt and Penn State are rivals, and Pitt and West Virginia's rivals. So what he's doing is he's going after both of us in the same comments. He's
Yeah,
getting
of
us
course,
both.
because you're a West Virginia fan. I'm a Pennsylvania native, so Penn State's closer to my home.
Here's what David
area.
Cummings has to say. Marshall takes up a city block. W is all over Morgantown. Let's get real. Well, beyond Morgantown, the rest of the state,
Mhm.
like West Virginia carries like what was the number? Like 92% of the state is, I think is the number that I saw, something like that. At least the women at Marshall have their teat.
Teeth, I
What's a
guess.
teat? What's a teat?
Or-
He
Teeth
couldn't
are
afford
teeth.
the H.
Hey, you know what's? Hey, you know what's 100 yards and got 3 teeth? The
Say
sideline
that
of
again.
Brian Denny. You know what's 100 yards and 3 teeth?
Nah.
Oh, Pitt and Marshall are big brothers. See, he just
Nah.
revealed their problem, but in opposite. He's saying Pitt and Marshall are the big brothers, when in reality, Pitt and
It's the
Marshall
exact
are
opposite.
the
Little brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look
now,
at Penn
okay,
State
okay.
and Pitt, Penn State owns Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. John
So, come
waffled
on.
last week when
Okay,
he tried to,
okay.
Come on.
convince me that Pitt was a blue blood.
Oh God.
Guys, I hate to
No.
end this. This has been a great live show, but I actually have to bounce to another live show. We have the live show at 8:00 on the West Virginia channel of Mark Rogers. So if y'all want to join me over there, Joe, do you have a link to that channel? Maybe.
No, not on me. No. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
All they have to look up
I
is
can-
what voice of college football, West Virginia.
Yeah, it's going to stream on the main channel too at Mark Rogers, so it'll be
Yeah,
on
they
those
go to the
channels.
voice. They'll find it.
Okay, so y'all
Yeah.
come talk some more trash over there. This will be about the backyard brawl, so this could get very, very heated, very, very
Oh,
interesting. Pitt fans, come on over. We will definitely welcome you over there. But like we do, as usual, before we get out of here, I'm going to give everybody their last word. Keep in mind, I'm trying to get out of here fast, so try to make it a little quicker than usual. I'm going to go to we will go to Elijah real quick. What's your last word, buddy?
Oh, one last thing. My bold take on the season. I think that Hendon Hooker could be in the Heisman conversation.
100% agree.
At one point this year, I don't think he's going to New York or anything crazy like that, but I think he could be in the conversation, especially if Tennessee goes 5-0 going into Alabama. That's kind of my hot take for the season, and appreciate y'all having me on. It's good talking to you guys.
Hey,
No problem.
Semper Fi.
Hey, come on anytime, buddy. Come on anytime. And to be honest with you guys, I agree with everything he just said. Jordan Bowman, what's your last word, buddy?
Well, it's not related to Clemson, but it's related to a school in the middle of the state, in the armpit of the state, actually.
I know who you're talking about.
They're looking for a new name for their mascot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys would go and vote for a particular name. It's Cock Commander. Please vote for Cock Commander for the new mascot of the University of South Carolina. That would be wonderful.
Well, his name right now is Cocky, right? And they could change it to, and this is like a name that's used a lot. They could change it to Dickie, right?
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. But yeah, I guess that would work. But I love Cock Commander even better. So if you
All right.
you guys
We're
have
gonna
fun,
vote.
please vote.
We're gonna vote. Good job, Jordan.
All right, I'll catch you guys later.
All right, buddy. Robert, what's your last word of the day?
In my case, I enjoyed the little puns between me and you about West Virginia and also Penn State. I'm not a Penn State fan, but I will stand up for my blood.
Oh yeah, Pitt.
Yeah, because
Pitt
I'm like,
fans.
come on, you're attacking my side of the state because Penn State is more Eastern Pennsylvania than Western Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is more Western Pennsylvania and being a joke.
I agree.
Yep. Talk to you next time.
All right, buddy. Good job. Jeff Grimm, what is your last word of the day, buddy?
Hey, I want to remind everybody, next week you're going to do the first score prediction. So everybody join Patreon right away. Joey had a great show last night. It was a lot of fun. Sorry I couldn't stay the whole time. But if you're not
And
a
what's
Patreon,
the prize every week?
you're going to win $20 if you get the closest to the score. And
There you
plus,
go.
you're going to get discounts on merchandise, and you get a lot of great perks. And
Right.
Joey does a great show once a week, and so you are missing out if you're not a Patreon. So everybody, please sign up for Patreon.
Exactly.
And you guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
stopping
Jeff.
by, Jeff. And of course,
Final word. Got a new show coming up called Mountaineer Legends Pregame Show. Search it out on YouTube. Mountaineer Legends Pregame Show. Sub it up. We have first show Thursday from 2 to 4 live from Pittsburgh, and we're going to have Dale Whoopley, Brian Josbiak, Major Harris, Pac-Man Jones. We got a whole slew of former players. Working on trying to get possibly getting Don Nealon in there as well. So be sure and tune into that Mountaineer Legends pregame show. Go sub it up right now. Hit that bell notification. All right, guys. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. See you later, Chris.
Good job, Joey. Thank you. Get to the super chats real quick. Jimmy Touchdown, Pitt and Marshall are peer institutions of academic excellence. WU is Auto Admit Community College. They're not a community college, but their mission is to educate the Appalachia. So they do have a high admittance rate, which is why their academics are a little bit lower. David Cummings, thank you for the $5 donation. Says, I went to Marshall, but I went to WU to party. Yeah, West Virginia has been number 1 and number 2 as far as the party squad. I think right now they're number 2, but there for a while they were number 1. But I got to run, guys. Quick shout out to everybody that stopped by. Appreciate your support. Everybody that commented, hit the like button. Hey, hit the like button on the way out. It's not going to be live anymore, but still helps the video. I got to run and do another live show real quick. So usually I don't do live shows on the weekend, but if I have some time, I'll see if I can. But if not, y'all have a good weekend. Hey, first week of college football. It is week 0. It is week 0, but it is the first week. We will see some action. First kickoff, noon tomorrow. I cannot wait, guys. I cannot wait. College football is back. So enjoy your first college football weekend. And if I don't see you over the weekend, I'll see you on Monday.